So the study shows that it takes around 6 to 9 months to learn a new language, and being consistent is very very important in this whole chapter, practically speaking. Because when a couple of years ago, when I arrived here in Italy, and it was one of the biggest call to adventure in my life, and for me it was completely culture shock in the beginning, and it was, for me it is very new experience, or it was very new kind of culture experience or language. And I was a little bit confused because I never speak Italian language, and people speak at that time, or always in Italy majority speak Italian language. So I was thinking that it takes me around 3 to 4 years to learn Italian language, but I was wrong, because language learning is not such a difficult task. But at some point I was also correct, because for me it is the new language, or I never ever in my life read, write or speak the Italian language, but I always curious to know, or I always interested in learning a foreign language. So for me, I learned Italian from basic to intermediate level of Italian language in couple of years, and then later I realized that it is not quite enough to speak or to understand or to feel the culture or real Italian culture at that level of language. It is just quite enough in a normal routine, but for the advanced level it is not enough that I was speaking. So a month ago I decided to follow 4 weeks language learning program, or 4 weeks practice program, in which the last 3 videos I followed with you up, and I share my process. So in the first week, I decided to learn 1,000 common words of Italian language to learn and to advance in advanced vocabulary to enhance my language skill. And the follow up in the second week, I practiced too much speaking, and in the follow up third week I listen too much to people, and I communicate with people, and I more focus on my listening skills. So these 3 weeks I learn about to something about by learning or by practicing language, by writing or by listening. And now currently I am in the final and the 4th week of this process, of this my language learning experience and kind of language learning journey. And in the 4th week I decided to do something about new, and I quit studying in this week, and I no more I'm studying these phrases or new vocabularies. I don't try to learn new words or from dictionary, let's say. And I tried to learn this from last week, from the environment, from the people, or by visiting new place, or by visiting or by learning, by reading the history of that country. I realized that language learning in the school process, or the old process, and the table of contents with conjugations, with verbs, with all content, it is useful at some point or another, but from my experiences, from my journey, it is more useful, or it is more helpful, fun and engaging way learning a new language from people. So most of the Italian language, or most of the vocabulary or conversation or communication, I learned from the people, or from by visiting or by road. So this is, I really believe that, but this is not a professional advice to learn a new language or to start a course like this, but this is the follow-up procedure, or the journey I went through, and I process and I experience this, and I choose this to learn language from this kind of experiences. For example, meeting with people or speaking with different people, and it's like a rough process. It's not the same as a school, but it is very fun, and it is very worthwhile process. You meet with so many people with different backgrounds, and with different mindsets, with different study backgrounds. So it teaches, as I told you before, that people are always very awesome, and they are always teachers, as per my experiences. So people teach a lot. A language or any life experience or any puzzle people can solve in your life, and from my experiences, this is, up till now, I believe that language learning from this experience is very engaging. So the overall conclusion of this learning language experience in the couple of years past, and in this particularly 1 month I practice. In the conclusion, at the end, I realized that there are more opportunities to learn new languages. With language, there are more new opportunities in that territory or in that country, in that region, and you learn more new things in a very fun way, in a very strange way that we cannot learn inside the classrooms. There are specific different things that we always learn outside from the classrooms, from people, from different kind of people in our life. So this is the conclusion of my language learning experience, and I was always not interested about in any kind of school learning experience with the language engaging system, but or any kind of certification, but this is not a professional calculation or kind of academic calculation. This is my personal education, and this is my personal experience and calculation that I can speak more than intermediate level of Italian language. But for this to verify this, I have to maybe some time to appear in exams or appear in the examination hall to follow the guidelines or to give exam and to obtain any kind of certificate that suggests or that shows that I am eligible to show the more Italian language with more skills. In the future, I will try to find some school or to give exams to check my level, but this is not the goal to find or to obtain certification. The goal is to understand the real culture deeply inside and to learn the history. And when you live in that country, you have to be engaged in that culture with people with different kind of activities, and to teach them your culture and learn from them little bit. It creates a little bit impact in the society or in ourselves, in our lives. So this is my personal experience or the little bit story or learning language experience I shared with you. So in the future, I will guide you some or update you about my new experience or how it goes in Italy. So see you very soon. Good morning.